everyone, this is Pratik Prabhu from Kanya University, register number 16CS309. I'm here to explain the address calculation of 1D, 2D and 3D array using C++. Let's move to the program. We're starting with the one-dimensional array. Because it is one-dimensional, we just need a single array size, that is the row size, and we are declaring an array here with the size A, which I'm prompting the user to declare. So once the user gives the array size, it will be declared here, and after the size is declared, we can move to get the input from the user for the elements to fill in the array. For that, I'm using a for loop. Here the array index starts with 0, gets incremented by 1, and as soon as it reaches the array size, for loop will end and the elements will be filled in the array. And then when we move on to the address calculation, I'm using this formula to find the address of each and every element in the array. I'm using this again in a for loop with the same index number 0, and then gets incremented by 1, so that each element in the array and their address will be calculated and displayed on the output. For example, see, it's showing the array size. I'm giving it as 4, and it's asking for the elements. I'm giving it as 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's displaying the number, the array element and its address. This is how it works. And then moving on to 2D array, I'm declaring the array marks as the array and size. This is row size and this is column size, which will be declared by the user. Once the user gives the row and column size, and then we move on to the filling up array, for which I am using two for loops. One is for the row and one is for the column. The row index starts with 0 and gets incremented by 1, like the same as in one-dimensional array. And for the column also, it starts with 0 and gets incremented by 1. And each and every element which the user gives in will be stored in the specified row and column. And then once the user finishes off with the input, we are moving on to the address calculation, which I have put it in two for loops again for the row and column. And then I'm using this formulas to find the address of the row address and the column address of the elements. This is the marks, this is the base address, and INJ stands for the row and column. Using this formula, we can find at which address an element is. Like, I can find the row address of an element, also I can find the column address of the element in the array. Let's run and see. It's asking for the number of rows. I'm giving it as 2, columns 2. It's asking for the elements. See, it's showing the address of 1 can be found at the column, and then followed by address of 1 can be found at row. See, like this, the row and the column address for each and every element present in the array can be found out. Then we are moving on to the three-dimensional array. Here, with the row and column, we are giving an extra set, but still it will be stored as a row and column with different sets. Here again we need to declare the row size, the column size, and the address size. The row size, the column, and the set size. And once the sizes are declared, then the elements are taken in, for which I am using 3 for loops, one for set, one for row, and one for column. And then once the elements are filled in, again we are moving to the address calculation. The set address is not calculated here, but the row and the column address can be found using these formulas. Here the marks stands as the base address, I for the set, J for the row, and K for the column. And using this, the address of each element present in the different set, different rows, and different columns can be found out, and their row address and their column address will be displayed separately. Let's see. Number of sets, I'm giving it as 2, rows 2, columns 2. It's asking for the elements. See, each element's row and column address is displayed. And if you would have noticed, I'm using this int in both 2D, 3D, and 1D array, because so as to show the address as an integer, not as a decimal or some other number, so that it can display it as an integer. Thank you.